Ellen DeGeneres has been speaking out, voicing her outrage about
this needs to be a wake-up call that teenage bullying is an epidemic.
Parents of a special needs student are suing a local school for not doing enough.
The school maintains they did nothing wrong.
Evergreen School District has a zero-tolerance bullying policy.
Was it enough to prevent the child bringing hundreds of rounds of ammunition and weapons?
Because putting a stop to bullying is a responsibility we all share.
Ellen DeGeneres says she still can't believe she was accused of bullying.
Something must be done. Bullying.
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 The truth about bullies.
Hi, Jasmine. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. I want to explain why we're having this talk with Jasmine, because she's actually quite a bit different from most of the guests we've had.
Yeah.
Most of the guests are adults who are quite a bit older than her. But I'll try to make it short. A couple of years ago, maybe less than a couple of years ago, I began getting emails from Jasmine asking me questions about bullying. And it was clear that she had, her ideas about bullying, or your ideas, Jasmine, about bullying were quite mainstream and different from mine. And I explained to you that my ideas are very different. But I would do my best to answer your questions. And then I would get emails again, kind of bringing up the same things that I had answered before. So it was pretty clear to me that you had a hard time accepting my ideas, which isn't strange at all, because many people have a hard time accepting my ideas about bullying because they're contrary to the mainstream ideas about bullying. I got the feeling after a while that there are things that are really bothering you, and probably from your own history of being bullied. So I offered to talk to you. I figured I can have a few phone conversations with you and help you understand why you may have been bullied when you were younger and what you could have done about it to understand my ideas better. I thought that I would have, maybe 2-3 conversations with you to teach you or to help you see why you were bullied as a child, because it's terrible to grow up having been bullied for years by your peers and you never know why it happened, and it can bother us forever. But we had a good time talking, and you had very good questions, and I realized that you spend a lot of time online reading things about bullying and social relations, and our conversations were quite interesting. So I figured, you could make a good guest for our podcast.
Recently, I watched an Instagram reel about somebody quitting her high school cheer team because her coach and teammates were mean to her. I get this. When she started her high school cheer team, her teammates were always mean to her just because she was shorter and skinnier than they were. And then she told the coach she did nothing about it, and then she got blamed for being weak and unaccountable. And she was made to apologize to her teammates, even though they had been mean to her first.
Mm-hmm. So this is something that that upsets you to read about it. It sounds like it resonates with you. Mm-hmm.
I hate reading about stories about bullies getting away with their actions.
Can I ask a little bit about what your own personal experiences with bullying were?
Yeah, I had a brother who was not very nice to me when we were younger.
Mm-hmm. And was that it? He was the only kind of major bully in your life?
Second grade, there was this girl who I'm not even going to mention the name of. We were cool for a bit because she had just come to our school, but then she started acting really mean to me for no reason. She even got some of our classmates to turn against me. And then I got in trouble because of her. Probably because she hated me, but she wouldn't even say that.
So there was your brother and there was a girl at school.
But that's not all. I had 2 bullies in middle school. One named Genesis. We were friends for a bit, but then she started blaming me for passing a note, which I didn't even do. But get this. We were in class, and then there was this guy who passed a note to her saying stupid, and then she blamed me for doing so, which I didn't even do. And she got some of her classmates to blame me for it. It got to a point where I had to stop being her friend.
Mm-hmm. You are 23 years old now, if I understand. Have you reached a point in your life where it doesn't really happen to you on a regular basis, or is this something
It
that's
stopped happening to me in high school.
stopped happening in high school? Why is that, do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think people are
Maybe
just,
it's because they suddenly decided that they liked me.
why do you think they suddenly decided they liked you? I'm just curious.
I don't know. They just did.
Was it in a different area than your middle school?
Some of them went to the same high school I did.
Mm-hmm.
But seventh grade, let's get back to that. Seventh grade, I had another friend who turned out to be not nice. When I called her out on it, she denied it. So I had to stop being her friend.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you have such a deep interest in the subject of bullying because of these sort of
And
unresolved
not,
issues?
yeah, and not just that, but I've always believed that we should be nicer. I grew up in a Christian household. I was taught to be nice by my parents. I never understood why people were mean, and I still don't.
Can I ask you if you remember the role-playing games that we've played during our conversations?
Yes,
Didn't you
yes.
discover that when I get upset, you really have fun?
Yeah, but let me tell you this. When somebody bullies you, it's because they really hate your guts. But instead of dealing with it like how a normal person who would do so, they take their anger out on you. Have you ever read the story of Cinderella?
Yes.
Her stepfamily was always mean to her
Uh,
because they really hated her. And have you seen every high school movie made between the 2000s and 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was always this mean popular girl who bullied the protagonist because she really hated her guts.
So do you think these bullies are a different kind of class of people? Like, because you said normal people don't take their anger out on people when they hate them or something like that. So do you see it as a sort of different class of people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think what my dad's game is meant to show is that everyone, even totally normal and good people, have the potential of enjoying driving someone else crazy.
No. Yeah, but in my experience, the people who picked on me, they all hated my guts.
it seems to us that our bullies hate us because they're being so mean to us. So the only,
No,
uh,
no, bullies really do hate their victims, but they just won't admit it to their face. So they decide to express it in other ways.
what reason do you think they had to hate you?
They thought I was annoying, which I clearly wasn't. They just didn't like my personality. Like for me, I was always a girl that liked reading, but I was kind of outgoing. Apparently, some of them didn't like that. I forgot to tell you that boys were often mean to me in middle school too. And there were a few boys who were nice to me though.
One of the reason that boys might be mean to you is because they
And
actually,
none of them had a crush on me. None of them had a crush
you're
on me.
sure
They
none of them had
didn't have a crush on
I mean,
me. You
you
can't
think
tell
you,
me somebody had
why isn't it possible that a boy might have had a crush on you, but instead of acting on it, he made contact with you by being mean to you because he didn't know a more mature way?
but if a boy really had a crush on her, he'd do nice things for her.
When I think when boys grow up and become men, they realize that that's the way. But as little kids, it's very embarrassing. Not even just little kids, middle school kids, intermediate school kids. It's embarrassing to admit to a girl that you like her. It's easier to be mean to her and kind of gain dominance that way. So you're not.
Or have a relationship that way. That way you get them involved with you uh, for a long time. It's not pleasant for the girl, but that could be what's happening.
I think, Jasmine, it's important to realize that every human being usually feels pretty justified in what they do. It's the more rare moments when we regret our own actions. I mean, I guess there are some people that constantly beat themselves up for their own behavior, but for the most part, in the moment, we usually feel justified in the way that we're acting. Like with my kids, they drive me nuts sometimes, and I try to do my best treat them fairly and get them to do what they need to do in a calm and mature way. But many times I fail at that, and it's only in the moment I feel like I'm doing the right thing. It's maybe only afterwards when I think about it I might regret my actions. For the most part, people feel justified in doing what they do, unless they're sort of psychopaths and they really are not normal and they enjoy and they take pleasure in other people's suffering. But most people are not like that. So it's important to remember that even most of the people that bullied you growing up felt that they were justified in doing what they did. It doesn't mean they're actually justified or it's actually okay what they did, but they felt right. So it helps to think about, okay, why? If they hated me, and it's not for sure that they hated you, but they obviously took
They
pleasure
didn't
in.
like me. They did
Yeah,
like they did.
yeah,
They didn't
probably
really
not.
like me. They disliked me.
Mm-hmm.
They disliked me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
yeah, I usually pick on those they really dislike.
mm-hmm. Right. So they had some kind of reason. It doesn't mean that reason is right, or you need to feel bad about yourself about it, but they had a reason, and it makes it easier to understand people and not to judge them and to understand why things are happening to us if we realize people have actual reasons for the way that they treat us. And it also prevents us from saying, okay, I'm the good guy, and those people that treat me badly are the bad guys. Because they might see it exactly the opposite. They're probably saying to themselves, I'm in the class of good guys, and Jasmine and whoever else is a bad guy. What does it help us to categorize people as like, the bullies and the victims? Um, but it's interesting to hear you say that in high school it kind of stopped. I think my guess might be that kids just become a little bit
Grow up.
more smart, more emotionally smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, the reason
Unfortunately, it's not like that in every high school.
No, it's not.
Some
You're right.
people continue to be mean in high school. And I think it has something to do with how they're raised. Nobody is born being mean to each other. In fact, when we're babies, we're all born being nice. You don't see babies being mean to each other, and you don't see toddlers being mean to each other either.
You do all the time.
But babies are never mean to each other. I watched a video about how mean girls are raised. There's a video titled Mean Girls Come from Mean Moms. I sent you a video,
I
or
think
didn't I,
it's
Izzy?
it's very easy to point fingers, and it also feels good to point fingers and say the problem is with these parents and the way they're educating their kids. It kind of takes the
But it
responsibility off of
isn't.
us.
Some people are never taught how to be nice. Like, there are some people who do teach their kids to bully people who aren't like them.
I,
Let me play for you so you can understand what I'm trying to say.
That's
Okay,
okay.
let me play the video.
Here's a message to all the nice girls out there who are wondering why some of these other mean girls have to be so mean. Here's an unpopular opinion. Apple trees make apples. If your mom's mean, chances are you're mean. So these girls, they think this is the way of the world, that you can just talk to people like that and talk shit about them because they hear their moms doing it. And they hear the same stuff that they've heard their whole lives. Mean girls usually have mean moms. Sorry if that's unpopular. Now, I could be mean. Make no mistake about it. I can be mean, but not mean like that. I'm mean like I'll tell it to you straight how I feel. But I never condone my kids being mean. In fact, I'm very quick to always say it's their fault even when it's not. So, girls who are nice out there, just keep being nice. Look for each other. Find your group. And if not, find a nice friend who's a boy. Because sometimes you don't have to deal with mean girl shit with boys.
See what I'm trying to tell you?
Would you say, Dad, that there are kids who, because of their upbringing at home and the way, their moms model behavior, they can't, even with your technique, you can't get those girls to be nice to you?
mean, because of the way they were raised by their parents, I
Yeah,
can't get the girls to be nice to me.
yeah.
Um, I think I can get them to be nice to me. Uh, we have. It's important to realize that when you look for things about relationships and bullying on the internet, you're going to get a great amount of information about by people who were upset and hurt, and they tell their version of the story. So we only know it from how they saw it, how they felt. We have no idea what the other person was thinking and why the person was doing it. So you hear these things over and over again from different people, and you get this impression, boy, people are so mean, and a lot of people are writing and saying that they're mean because they learned it from their parents.
But I've heard a lot of stories about women on the PTA who were mean, and then they taught their kids how to be mean. It was on another video from Impact Kids Coach. She made a video about the difference between friend groups and cliques. I'm gonna play the videos for you so you can see what I'm trying to say.
So what is the difference between a clique and a group of friends? A group of friends is a group of kids or adults, and it's like an open circle. People are free to come in, go out, they enjoy time together, but you're also free to play with other kids. You're free to invite other kids into the group and they're welcomed. A clique is more like a locked circle. It is a relational aggression to be cliquey. That means you're excluding other people, gossiping about other people, making other people feel less than, so belittling them. Cliques are tight groups of friends. They are jealous or angry when you go and play with another kid. They don't let other kids in easily unless they follow very particular rules. Maybe how you dress or how you behave, what you like. For the kids who are in the clique, they might feel safe in the moment, but they can also start to feel unsafe and make kids feel insecure, whether they will be kicked out of the clique or the group if they do something wrong. That's kind of how you can tell if it's a healthy group or if it's a clique. My name's Julie. I'm a former school counselor. I help kids with friendship dynamics. Follow for more.
And here are the comments. The difference is the parents of these kids. They're going to be either inviting or leave kids out. I find most of these cliques are mom-driven. And what Impact Coach Kids said in response? So true. And then the kids think cliques are normal. And we see airtight cliques in middle school and wonder why.
Jasmine, I'm going to interrupt you here for a minute, because the internet is full of stuff like this. I think it's more useful that we discuss, your ideas about it, why it speaks to you, and I think my father's responses, because really the internet, I think, is rife with this kind of stuff. It's much more available than material that looks at human relationships in an objective way. This is stuff that makes people feel good. It makes them it quiets the part of their conscience that has to think about what we should be doing to get people to treat us better. It's much easier to say, oh, it's the problem of these moms that don't, that teach their kids to be mean. It's a problem with cliques. It's much harder to say, wait a minute, how am I acting in a way that encourages people to treat me badly? That's harder at work, and people don't write that kind of stuff much.
Well, what if we're not doing anything wrong but expressing our feelings? We have every right to be upset when someone treats us terribly.
But that's the trap. We have the right to get upset, but that doesn't mean that getting upset is going to give us the results that we want. We also have the right to spend money on garbage, and we end up throwing our money away and making ourselves sick. We have the right to do that. It doesn't mean that it's a
Bottle
smart
our
thing to
emotions
do.
up? Yeah, but we can't bottle our emotions up. That's not healthy. Bottling up our emotions never works out.
Our brain has an effect on our emotions. The way that we understand the world affects how we react to things. If we understand why people treat us a certain way, we're less likely to respond with anger to them. So our brain and our understanding of the world has an effect on our emotions. It's not just our emotions and we need to express them. It's also the way we understand things. If we understand why kids bully us, we can learn not to respond with such anger and how to get them to stop bullying us. And that's what the outcome that we want.
Yeah, and I wanted to read to you some more comments. I came here to say this exact same thing. Our school has a group of moms, most of them have positions on the PTA, that have a strong clique starting in preschool. The girls are now out of the 8th grade. They are polite to everyone, but you are absolutely not invited to be a part of the Lurch clique, ever. It's the mothers that exclude as well. When I talk to people, somebody was like excluding people is normal, but it's not.
Jasmine, I do think it's very normal. I think it's very normal to exclude people. Doesn't mean it's
Doesn't
good, but we
exclusion do
don't
so
live.
many damage to the victim? Exclusion does a lot of damage to the victims. I know what it's like to be excluded.
I'm a mom and I have 4 kids and I'm like one of the most accepting people I know to a fault. Like I can learn to love like practically anybody. Um, I have all kinds of friends and I like interesting people. I have a daughter who is very, very social, but she has like one best friend and it's been this way for 4 years. And she almost doesn't invite anybody else over besides his friend in school. And I imagine that the girls in class probably, they know that, my daughter Shalva and Tamar, they are a pair and they can't be split up. And I'm sure that feels a little bit of like a clique to them. I didn't teach her that. I don't think it's as simple as moms are encouraging their daughters to be in cliques. It's really too easy to say, but think about the women in your life that you know, even not in your close family. I'm sure you know some moms. Do you know any mom that encourages her daughter to like be in a closed circle of friends and not accept other girls? I've never heard of a mom encouraging her daughter to behave that way. And it happens anyway, because it's natural.
People like to feel part of a group. It makes them feel special. You can't be friends with the whole world. So what we do is we make a small group of friends and we're comfortable with each other. We know each other. We feel special by feeling this is our group. But for a group to have an identity, it can't include everybody. It includes some people. Look what happens in life. In the United States, we have two main political parties, Democrats and Republicans. Look how they treat each other. The Democrats feel they're special and they treat their fellow Democrats wonderfully, and they treat the Republicans terribly, and the other way around. And they spew hate towards each other. They put each other down. We go to one kind of religious group and we feel we're special, and they don't accept members from every religious group in the world. People like feeling like they're part of a group that's special, which means it doesn't include everybody. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
It's true, even friends are sometimes mean to each other.
What? I
E-
thought good friends were never mean to each other. Isn't that what a toxic friend would do to you?
I don't think it's toxic. I think it's natural. I think if we are disappointed by our friends every time they're kind of mean to us, we'll just never have friends anymore. Here, I had a very good friend of mine recently say, um, she wasn't trying to be mean, and she even said, like, forgive me, Lola, for saying this. We were talking about my relationship with my husband, I don't know, and how he's actually like a very tolerant person. And she said, you're a pretty messy person. So that's not fun to hear. My friend kind of judging how I like keep up my house. If I were to be like, wow, that's mean, or what kind of friend are you? I would lose a very good friend, but she's a great friend. Even friends can be kind of mean to each other sometimes.
Most of the
Yeah.
time, when people are mean to others or when we're mean to other people, we're not trying to hurt them, but we see something in the other person that we think needs to be corrected. So we criticize them for it to try to correct them, but they get offended by it and they feel we're being mean to them when we're really trying to help them.
Other people's behavior that we can perceive as being really mean, they don't really mean it as mean. They might even be trying to make a suggestion or just a helpful suggestion or just saying the truth as they see it. But if it's something that we're sore about personally, we're sensitive about it, then we'll take it as something really mean. That was not really their intention.
I made a checklist for why bullying often goes unchecked. Number one, nobody really holds the bully he's accountable, and the focus goes on the victim instead. Nobody gives the bullies an effective punishment. Instead, the victim ends up being punished for overreacting when all they did was defend themselves. The victim is told to just ignore them and let it go, but that's going to do them any good. Number one, the environment in which it occurs is toxic. The teachers tolerate bullying because they see it as normal and part of growing up. It's not. Meanness is valued over kindness. Meanness is seen as strength, while kindness is seen as weakness. There is very blatant favoritism. But parents teach their kids to be mean. They never teach their kids how to be nice. They act like their kid would never do anything like this. I also wrote, this is why I hate seeing bullies get off scot-free in movies and in real life. It reinforces the idea that being nice gets you nowhere and that meanness gets you ahead. It couldn't be more further from the truth. And I wrote down, what can we do to make sure that bullying never goes unchecked again? Come up with better solutions to hold bullies accountable while supporting victims. Instead of blaming the victims for how they reacted, ask the bully why they bullied the victim in the first place. Make sure the victim's feelings are validated. Give the bully one more chance, and if it happens again, they'll be suspended. Try to separate the bully from the victim. Talk to the bully's parents and make sure that they are well aware of the abusive things that they are saying and doing to their victims. If they say, my kid would never do anything like this, hit them with the, oh yes, they would. Don't turn in favoritism. Yep, that's what I wrote. I've heard a lot of stories about victims getting punished for themselves, like I already told you, remember?
Yes, very often it's the victim who ends up getting punished, but there's a reason for that. When the victim complains about their bully, and then the bully is confronted, nobody likes getting in trouble. So the bully defends himself and blames the accuser. And the adult has to play a judge. A judge wants to be fair. They don't just want to take one person's side against the other. And they might think, well, maybe there's something to what the alleged bully is saying. And and sometimes the victim gets aggressive and nasty. So the adults think, yes, the victim is at fault here. Being a judge is a very difficult thing. If you ever watch court trials or movies about court trials, you'll see they're very hostile places. Nobody says, I'm guilty. Everybody wants to defend
Yeah.
themselves and blame the other person. But you're reading advice from a professional.
ChatGPT.
Oh, ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Okay,
I asked ChatGPT what it said.
where does ChatGPT get its knowledge from?
I have no idea.
It gets it from the
But I also
internet.
wanted to continue what I wrote.
It like scans all the available information, and it takes the available information and very quickly puts it together and presents to you what's out there. But unfortunately, this approach of making sure the bully is held responsible and has to be rehabilitated or punished, this approach has been used for over 25 years now, and it's not working. And the research shows that it doesn't work. So what's the point of using something that has been proven not to work? Plus, I explain why it doesn't work. I think I've written a lot and spoken about it, a lot about why it doesn't work.
I have heard some instances where it did work. Like one middle, and I was gonna keep reading my email. One middle school girl recounted how her classmates kept stealing her stuff and making fun of her. Her teacher scolded her for it, and her whole class laughed at her for it.
Mm-hmm.
So her response of telling the kids to stop didn't work. In fact, it produced a bad result for her.
Her
Everybody
teacher
is
scolded her for telling her to stop, even though she was just defending herself, like anyone would do.
the natural thing is to defend ourselves, but just because it's the natural thing to do, it doesn't mean that it works. Have I spoken to you about the mistake of defending ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do a quick role play with Lola, okay? Lola, I want you to accuse me of something nasty, and I'm going to try to stop you by defending myself.
You stole my chair. You stole my chair and you gave me a broken chair. You do that every single day.
I don't steal your chair.
Yeah, you do. Every single day I take that chair back because it's mine, and every single day I find it back and the broken chair again. You keep giving me and hoping I'm gonna fall.
I'm not hoping you're going to fall. I don't steal your chair.
Yeah, you do every
No,
single
I
day.
didn't do that.
Everyone
Your
says.
imagination.
No, everyone says that you did it.
They're lying.
They're not lying. Everyone,
They're
they have
lying.
no reason to lie.
I have no reason to lie either. I'm telling the truth.
I know you've done other things like that before, so that makes sense. And I see you with my chair also, okay?
What makes it your chair?
Because I had it from the beginning of the year, that's where the teacher assigned me to sit. That's my chair.
Maybe it's your place, but a chair doesn't belong to you.
The
Chairs
chair belongs
move
to me just
around.
like,
People.
no, they don't, and desks don't move around either. Stop taking my chair.
I don't take your chair.
Yeah,
Okay, good job. Am I making you want to stop accusing me of taking your chair?
no,
Who's winning here?
I am, I think.
And can you respect me for the way I'm acting?
No,
Would
definitely
you
no.
would you want to be my friend if I treat you like this?
No.
Okay. So I'm doing the natural thing. I'm defending myself.
What if you're not being mean to her? You're not calling her names. You're not being mean to her by defending yourself.
She's being mean to me, and I'm defending myself. I'm defending myself because I want her to stop being mean to me. But did it make her stop being mean to me?
No.
Made her continue. She keeps on accusing me, but it also made her not like me, and she couldn't respect me because I'm losing self-control. I'm in the weaker position. The attacker is in the stronger position. The defender is in the weaker position. Plus, we defend ourselves from enemies. So if I'm defending myself from her saying she's wrong, I don't do that, I'm treating her like she's my enemy. So it's a mistake to defend myself from her. Now we're going to do it again. Start again. Accuse me.
You stole my chair again. You gave me the broken one.
I stole your chair?
Yes.
You end up with a broken one again?
Yeah, again, this happens every day.
Wow. I feel so bad for you. How come you keep on getting the broken chair?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you want to see me fall.
You think I want to see you fall?
Yeah, I don't know. Why else do you keep? Why don't you just find another good chair in the class and use that instead of giving me the broken one every time?
But I'm not the only one in the class. I mean, why do you think that I'm the one who puts the broken chair in your place?
Because I see that you have my chair.
But the chairs all look pretty much the same.
No, I know what my chair looks like. It has a scratch on the back. I know it.
But the chairs can move around. I wouldn't want you to fall. I feel terrible that you end up with a broken chair.
I appreciate that. Anyway, but that chair with the scratch on the back, I can show you that's mine. I appreciate if you'd leave it by my desk.
But what if somebody, the janitor comes and moves chairs around, they put the chairs on the desk, and then, things get moved around. What do you do if the chair with the scratch on the back ends up not in your place?
I don't have to have specifically that chair, but stop putting the broken chair specifically in under my desk.
So you think I'm doing that I'm the one doing that?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, that's terrible. I would never want to do that to you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, have you seen me doing it?
No, but a few other people have told me that you did it.
They said that about me,
Mm-hmm.
and you believe them?
Why wouldn't I? They're my friends.
I consider you my friend also. I sit next to you. I would never want you to get hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to be happy. You're my neighbor in class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's see if I stop having the broken chair put under my desk, then I guess
I think it's worth trying to find out how this broken chair keeps on coming to you. Really,
uh,
it's terrible. I understand why you're so upset.
mm-hmm.
I would also be upset if it happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably it sucks.
It sucks. I'm not. I understand that you're upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This way, do you want to keep on accusing me?
No.
You stop after all. Do you like me better?
Yeah.
Can you respect me more?
Yeah.
Am I defending myself?
No.
No defending myself. I'm not saying I didn't do it. I'm just saying, really, you think I did it? I would never want to do that to you. But what I'm doing is I'm being nice to her. I'm treating her like a friend. I'm not defending myself. I'm showing concern for her. I'm saying I would never want you to get hurt. And now she starts liking me better and thinking maybe I'm not doing it on purpose. The thing is, kids aren't taught to do this. It's not obvious. We're not born knowing to do this. We're born defending ourselves. Defending ourselves when we're attacked is an inborn instinct. We're attacked, we defend ourselves. But our instincts are designed for life in nature, where life is very dangerous and creatures eat each other for dinner. But in civilization, life is not so dangerous, but we still have the instinct of defending ourselves. And we end up defending ourselves from our friends, and we treat them like enemies, and then things get bad. And we think, oh, our friend is so mean. How can they be so mean to us? But we don't realize that the way we're responding to them is making them keep on attacking us.
Jasmine, I'd like to ask you a question. Because you've corresponded a lot with my dad, has anything that he teaches changed the way that you see the issue of bullying?
To be honest, I still find myself holding on to ideas of bullying that I grew up with. I grew up with the anti-bullying movement. The people you've talked to recently, they didn't.
Wait, I'm sorry, who didn't grow up with the anti-bullying movement?
The previous people you've talked to.
Ah, okay, because they're older. The people you heard me interviewing are older than you. But I'm glad you raised that because you really are a product of the anti-bullying movement. It began about 25, 26 years ago. So your whole education was with the anti-bullying movement. But the thing is, it's not getting any better. Bullying isn't going down. It's because what the anti-bullying movement is doing, it actually reinforces the bullying that it's hoping to stop. And I
Yeah.
began warning 25 years ago. I began warning this anti-bullying approach is not going to work. It can't possibly work. And I've explained in great detail why it doesn't work. The whole culture is anti-bullying. They say we live in a bullying culture. No, we live in the most anti-bullying culture in the history of the world. Every school teaches against bullying. The media teaches against bullying. The workplace teaches against bullying. Nobody's saying bullying is a good thing. But even though they're teaching how terrible bullying is, it continues because it's human nature.
And I've heard a lot of stories about people whose teachers were mean to them when they were younger. And the same goes for their coaches being mean to them.
Yeah, it happens.
Nobody really ever talks about adults being mean to kids for no reason whatsoever. Like maybe they just don't like the kid.
It's true. Sometimes teachers don't like kids. It's absolutely true.
Like,
But very few teachers go into the teaching profession thinking, I really enjoy hurting children, and I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to have a job that pays me for being mean to children. This is wonderful. Every teacher goes into the profession thinking they're going to help people. They're going to raise good, responsible, smart children. The coaches believe they're going to raise good, competent athletes. But then they do the wrong thing. They'll put somebody down. They'll be tough with somebody. They'll be critical, and then the kid gets really upset, and they get mad at the coach, and the coach gets mad back, and the kid might get the parents involved against the coach. So now the coach feels under attack by the parents as well, and now they bring it up to the school, and it mushrooms and gets worse. But we have to understand why this happens. It doesn't help to say bullying is bad, being mean to children is bad. It shouldn't exist. Life is not like that. It would be great if we can just say all mean behavior will stop existing, and then we have utopia.
what's even worse is that adults being mean to kids has been normalized. Like back in the day, teachers were allowed to be mean to their students, and coaches were allowed to be mean to their athletes.
Once upon a time, teachers could hit kids, and that was normal to get them to behave the right way. That was totally acceptable. It's absolutely
And,
unthinkable now.
and they can even call their kids stupid and tell them that they were never going to amount to anything.
You're saying that sometimes coaches and teachers are still really mean, even though what I just described, the hitting and the corporal punishment, not corporal, but hitting
Being a
and
bad,
bad-mouthing kids is considered totally taboo, and yet still teachers can be mean. But it's gotten much better, in fact, if you look at it objectively.
yeah, it's true. It's like being a bad person was normalized back then.
There are still bad people. have always been bad people. The thing is, nobody thinks they are the bad person. Everybody thinks the other person is the bad one.
But what if there are people who know they're being bad, but they keep doing it anyway because they think that being nice isn't going to get them anywhere in the long run. So they feel like they have to be mean.
Some people are like that. I don't think it's as common as you might think. I think usually when people are mean to others, it's because they think the others are being mean to them.
Yeah. I recently discovered this website called the Echo Movement, and it teaches people to speak out against bullying, whether it be teens, kids, and adults. They even made an Instagram post about it. Let me play it for you.
Let's talk about a different kind of bully. Not the schoolyard one, not the workplace one. Let's talk about the community bully. The PTA mom, the Facebook group admin leader, the churchgoer, or the friendly neighbor. The one who hides their cruelty behind community involvement and uses their local reputation as a weapon. They don't scream in your face. They smile while they isolate you, and then they spread rumors under the guise of concern. They control narratives in small towns and tight-knit circles, making sure that you look like the problem while they look like the hero. And when you finally speak up, people don't believe you because how could they be a bully? They organize bake sales. They take their kids to church every Sunday. They sit on the HOA board. But hear me and hear me loudly. Community bullies are incredibly dangerous because they use trust and connection to divide and control. They silence people through shame and reputation sabotage. And if you piss them off, you could be next. So if you've ever been the target of a community bully, just know you're not alone and you're not crazy. And you're not the only one who's seeing through the mask. So let's make an echo that exposes them, because popularity definitely does not equal character.
Jasmine, we do have to wrap things up. I would like to leave you with a point to think about, and what, because you obviously consume a lot of material from the internet and it obviously resonates with you very strongly. I'd like you, whenever you're consuming things on the media about bullying that presents some people as the bad guys and some people as the victims and the good guys, you should be skeptical and not take it at face value. Because, like my father said, almost nobody identifies as a bad guy. Almost nobody identifies as a bully. Everyone feels like the good guy. Everyone feels like the victim. So where are all the bad guys? Where are all the bullies that are being written about? This is part of the culture of the anti-bullying movement, to point fingers always away from ourselves.
And by the way, you mentioned earlier, and you've told me more than once that you're a Christian.
Yeah,
The anti-bullying movement is not in accordance with the teachings of Jesus. They're contrary to the teachings of Jesus. I've written about it, I've spoken to you about it. What I teach, my approach is actually a more Christian approach. It's about loving your enemy. You treat the other person as a friend. You don't. It's very easy to see what's wrong with the other person, and we don't realize what's wrong with ourselves. Jesus said, why are you concerned about?
There's nothing wrong with it. Didn't he flip tables once, though?
Flip tables?
Yeah, he turned over the table of the money changers because they were being hypocritical. They were in Jerusalem, the city of God, and they're supposed to be doing holy things, and what they're doing is really about making money. So, as to let them know that they're doing a terrible thing, he threw over the table. Sometimes you have to take action against real evil that's going on. And I don't hear from my reading of the Bible, I don't get the impression that Jesus was always doing this kind of thing. It's one story, but in general, he was teaching people to love their enemies, to be tolerant, and he was showing that he could be killed in the most horrific way. And
So basically, he said that we should tolerate bullying.
the way to make bullying stop is by tolerating it.
Isn't it like tolerating murder?
No,
You
murder is not bullying.
That's like telling someone that they should tolerate bullying from adults.
Okay, I want to do one more demonstration and then I want to wrap it up. But I really encourage you to spend less time learning from the anti-bullying movement and try to find out what Christianity teaches about how to deal with people.
I really don't think that kids tolerating abuse from adults is going to teach them anything because kids trust adults. And if an adult bullies them, the kid will spend their life thinking that there's something wrong with them. And that's why the adult is being mean to them when it's not true.
Yeah, it's harder when you're a kid and an adult is being mean to you. That's much harder. But if you don't teach the kid, first of all, in such a case, let's say there's a situation where a teacher is being repeatedly mean to a student. If I work in the school, I will work with the teacher. I will talk to the teacher. What is the student doing to get you so angry? Because the teacher is getting angry at the student. But that means that
Or
the
maybe you
teacher,
can ask them why they're being so mean to the student in the first place.
if I do that, I'm blaming them. If I blame the person I'm talking to, they're going to tune me out. They're not going to want to talk to me. They won't want to confide in me. So I never treat
And
anybody like the bad guy. So let's say Lola's a teacher, and I see that she's punishing the same kid all the time, putting him down all the time. Now, of course, she looks like she's a bully teacher, but I am sure that she feels like she's a victim of the student. She's getting angry at the student. She's trying to punish the kid to make him behave better. So the teacher feels victimized, which is why she's punishing the kid and putting the kid down. So I will talk to her about it. What does the kid do that gets you so upset? What do you do about it? And she'll tell me, oh, I reprimand the kid, I punish him. Nothing helps. He keeps on doing the same kind of thing. So I will teach her why her behavior is not making the kid behave better. It's making the kid behave worse. Now, let's say a kid comes to me saying, my teacher is so mean to me all the time. But I don't work in the school. The kid is a client of mine. I can't go to the school and make the teacher change. But I will teach the child how to treat the teacher so the teacher will treat them better. So I want to do one quick demonstration. I think then we'll wrap it up, okay? I'm a kid and you're my teacher. And you're going to tell me, Izzy, stop talking. You're always talking.
Izzy, stop talking. I can't run a class like this.
I wasn't talking.
Yes, you are. You're talking to Peter.
I wasn't talking to Peter. You're always imagining that I'm talking. It's not me.
I'm standing in front of you and I'm seeing it. You and Peter talking every day.
I was not talking to Peter. Maybe Peter was talking, but I wasn't talking with him.
It takes two to tango. Can you please stop it? I really cannot run a class like
You always blame me. I don't know why you hate me. You're so unfair.
I don't hate you.
Yes, you do.
It's
You
just
hate me.
It's impossible. I have 30 other kids to teach in the class, and it's impossible when you and Peter are constantly talking.
No, we're not. You're imagining it. It's not me.
Yeah, maybe I'll send you out of the room and I'll see if I'm able to
I'm going to tell my mother that you're bullying me and you're going to get fired.
You can tell her. I'm sure
I
it's not
will.
the first time that you've been reported as talking in class.
Because you're always blaming me, and I don't know why you hate me and blame me all the time. Okay, good job. Am I making you want to be nice to me?
No, not at all.
Am I making you happy that I'm a student?
No.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Okay. Was I tolerating your bullying?
No.
I was not tolerating the teacher's bullying. Now we're going to do it again, but this time I will tolerate her bullying. Tell me again to stop talking.
Stop talking to Peter, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking again?
Yes, you're not aware that you're talking in class?
I really wasn't. I'm so sorry, teacher. I really don't mean to disturb you.
It certainly seems that you do because you enjoyed throwing my class off of the rails.
Really? You think I enjoy that?
Yeah, you would love to have me not give any assignments or teach anything in class.
I don't do that on purpose. I want to be a good student, but I'm going to do my best not to talk. I don't really want to disturb you. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I wish. I wish what you're saying is genuine. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, I would never want to upset my teacher.
Well, it's hard to imagine with your behavior, but let's see. I hope you're being
I guess
honest.
I've been behaving badly.
It's been really impossible to run a class. I come here because I have an interest in what I teach and I want to share my passion for the subject, and it's impossible.
I guess I felt that you're always picking on me, and I didn't know why you're picking on me. I thought you've been not fair to me.
Not picking on you, just trying to get you to stop talking so I can teach something.
And I will do my best. I really don't want to disturb you.
Okay, God willing.
Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, no problem.
This way, do you like me better?
Yeah, of course. You're a dream student.
This way, are you sure that I'm always talking? Or maybe it's not me that's always talking.
No, I'm not sure. Maybe there are also other kids that disrupt
But
my
if I do
class.
it the first way, if I get angry, I'm not talking, you're so unfair, you always blame me. You're going to be sure that it's me because I'm such an aggressive child, I'm angry, I blame you. But if I do it the second way, you're going to think maybe I'm unfair, maybe it's not always Izzy that's talking. You'll think maybe it's not me. But this way, did I not tolerate your bullying or tolerate
Oh,
it?
you totally
I
tolerated it.
totally tolerated it.
You didn't see it as bullying at all. You didn't treat it as bullying.
Yeah, I treated my teacher as though she's upset with me
Yeah,
for a
this
good
is
reason.
going to be hard for my generation to understand
Yes,
because we
because we're not teaching it to them. We're teaching the generation that teachers can be bullies and they shouldn't be tolerated, and we should tell our parents when our teacher is bullying them, and they should bring it up with the principal. But doing that makes everything worse. We're trying to get rid of all bullying, and then everybody's going to be happy.
I
But what we really need to be doing is teaching people how not to be victims. Jasmine, it's been a real pleasure.
okay.
yeah.
I'm glad you got
Thank you,
to
Izzy.
meet Lola. And
Nice to meet you, Lola.
okay.
Nice to meet you too. And
Yeah.
you're a very
Make sure
interesting
you check
subject because you're very well read in what's being written out there about bullying, and you also totally grew up in this culture and this mindset. So it's been interesting to have a discourse with that mindset about it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you very much,
Bye.
Jasmine. Good luck.
Thank you so much. And you have to realize this is a lot of work for Lola. She has to edit it, and it's going to take her hours of
It
work.
might, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it might take a little while. I might
yeah,
not be
yeah.
ready with it so
Yeah.
soon, but
Okay,
it'll
anyway,
happen.
it's been a real pleasure, Jasmine, and I wish you the best. And uh, again, look into Christian teachings about how to deal with people.
Yeah, but thank you. Bye.
Okay, okay.
Bye.
Be well.